Yep.
You want to go shower or anything? not together, but.
Hey, it is the Ides of March 15th. March 15th, which it means it's actually
Lump Day Eve.
Lump 316 Eve. And we're back
coming down the chimney tonight that you don't know about.
We're back after a brief hiatus, a week hiatus. In doing so, we reformatted the show.
When did we start the show?
August of last year. August of 2020.
It's good times.
Well, I was thinking about the reformatting of it, right? And I thought we could be like, I don't know, when the Brady Bunch, when Tiger came in to and who's the little kid? Oliver,
yeah.
When Oliver and Tiger came in, Tiger came back. Tiger was there in the early stages, and then he went away, and then he came back with Oliver. And when Oliver came back, Mike was gone. Right? And
Mike was
the show ended.
soon.
The show ended immediately after that. Or it's like, let's say it's like Ellen DeGeneres is like when she had her sitcom. She changed the format to where everything was about LGBTQ whatever. So and then the show was canceled shortly after. So changing formats of hit shows probably isn't the wisest thing.
Oh boy. I mean, we have a better chance of getting canceled.
Just canceled, period. Yeah. That's true.
We'll still do the show, but
cancels.
nobody will watch. Like less people. Like even you won't be able to watch it. Not even you, but you.
Yeah. You say it like there's other people watching.
That's right.
So
I watch the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, right after we
edit it. In the editing room. Mm-hmm.
And I laugh at everything that I said, and then every once in a while I'll pretend to laugh at something you said just to make you feel good while we're doing this. But so I do watch the show.
Or you're that 1-2 views.
Right. And since this video right here is so far behind, it's almost like I'll be watching it.
You're just 7 second. We gave ourselves a 7-second delay because of things we might say.
Or do.
Well, I mean, do you have anything you want to add before I get into?
No. I'm potentially running out of observations. I think I've seen everything. But who knows? I might interrupt a couple times throughout the show.
So you've gone to a new format yourself.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's
unpredictable.
let's get this party started.
Oh wait, that's kind of funny that you say that. Are there songs out there that you hear and you like them and you almost wish you didn't like them?
Oh yeah, there's definitely one. It's funny, we were talking about it in a different context. We called it what'd they call it? Your guilty pleasure of music, right? Yeah.
It's so funny that you say that because as I was driving over, that song from Pink was on. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't want to like this song, but I do like this song.
You sing along to it?
Said it out of nowhere. So I have two of them. There's that one, and the other one is Miley Cyrus, Party in the USA.
It's funny you bring this up. We're out by a fire outside. It's just guys, or the blaze were in there, blah, 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 whatever.
Right.
The other people, I can't really say.
Yeah.
And so the guys are out by the fire, just making big fire, keep throwing logs on it and whatnot. And some guy asked, he said, if you had the name, there's music on, which triggered it. And he said, if you had to name your guilty pleasure song, and everybody said, what do you mean? He says, that you don't want people to know that you like. And I said, without missing a beat, Bubbly.
What is that?
Been awake for a while now. What's her name? Bubbly. Starts in my toes, makes me creep in my nose. Yeah, what's her name?
The worst thing is...
But that was what I know. I know every word.
singing the song that you don't want anybody to know that you like. And it's even worse when they're like girls singing it.
Yeah. Oh, she's definitely a chick.
Because you even like raise
excuse me.
A woman.
A person that identifies as a cisgender female.
A womax.
What is her? How do I not? Colby Calais. Colby Calais. That's it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so that's guilty pleasure.
So funny.
Yours is the pink one, huh?
Yeah, I don't know why. Just.
And Miley Cyrus. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, so as we slide into the new format, the new and by the way, you notice that I'm adding here on the title, for fuck's sake, now that's a show. So I just think it's more appropriate to put that modifier in there. So our topics typically, and this is a pretty normal show here in terms of what we're going to cover.
Can I be worried about?
Yeah, no.
I'm always surprised, like the people that we ask to come on the show, and like, no, I'm not coming on.
Yeah.
I'm not coming on. I'm like, what's going to happen?
I think they get nervous. The voice will probably squeak or something.
Like they think anybody's number one. They think people are going to see it, and they think they think this is going to get out there, and they're going to get canceled in some way.
Mm-hmm. That's
because
what
of
we're all
things
about.
that we say.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what happens, right?
Right.
That's what happens when people get canceled. Like it's something that they didn't even say. It's like the guy on the Bachelor, right?
Yeah.
He didn't say anything.
It's canceled.
Yeah. Well, so our topics are going to be our items, our segments, I should say, are going to be a trigger warning of the week, right? And as we hit these, I'll explain them. Word or phrase of the week. Bonehead move of the week, and that could be from a celebrity or a politician. Just
or something
we did. It's just dumb. Funny sports story of the week. We're both sports fans, and figured
obviously you can tell. Oh, you said fans,
yeah,
not participants.
No, 50% of us are athletes.
Yeah.
You know that 50%, only about 50%'s left. Thought of a true story that people might not believe. You know that people may say, that can't be true," but it's true. Typically, a true funny story. And our awkward ending now is going to be the making of a meme. That's become quite the popular thing out there. So we'll give our best to label
use other people's.
Yeah. Well, the pictures. Well, what we'll do is we'll throw up a blank pic or a picture with no script
waiting
on
for
it.
people to call in and say what it is.
Yeah. Oh, we don't have the phone up there.
Oh, jeez.
So we'll roll in first to the trigger warning of the week, and look at the image there. This is a safe space. That's an actual sign from a university from out west that they have that posted outside. And notice that all these, I guess they're only safe spaces for people of LGBTQ plus or whatever.
Remember when there was a concern about schools being a safe space because of people shooting in them? Now it's people speaking or thinking. Mm-hmm. The whole George Orwell 1984 thing where that was the big problem. Are they having kids read that in school anymore?
Oh no, by no means. No way. That and Animal Farm are out, right? Well, we talked about Huck Finn last show, right? Yeah. It's not even an option. I don't even know what they read anymore. I don't even know if they have to read.
Well,
I think that the deal is if you think you can read, you can read.
Right.
Or if you think that 2 + 2 is 5, then hey, go with your feelings, right? So the trigger warning of the week here. This is one that I don't know if you've seen it or not, but Bill Burr at the Grammys.
Oh, that was classic.
Now, I didn't see it live, didn't watch the Grammys.
Yeah, like I saw it live. I sat and watched the Grammys, which was done virtually.
Oh, really? There's still nobody in...
Oh, and that's where he came out. He came out guns blaring on that.
So what did he do? Like, I know he's in trouble, so...
For some reason, he was the one chosen to give the Latin stuff. And so he came out, and he goes, I can't believe it. He goes, I finally get on a show like this, and there's nobody here. Because I went out and bought a suit for this.
Now, he's a comedian, right? I mean, he's a stand-up comedian.
Yeah. I mean...
But explain what he did that triggered everybody.
So he was going through, and he could not pronounce any of the names. He was completely unprepared, which is awesome. I think that's even better than anything. He had absolutely no reason to be out there. And he starts imitating the audience in how they're perceiving him at the time. And he calls himself, he says, "What's this cisgender white male doing out giving out these awards?" And he botched every single name. At one point, it was almost like a hot mic. He said at one point, "Oh, there's no way I could pronounce this." And he got blown up for that. And it was absolutely hilarious. And there was nobody in the room. Everything was on like screens behind him, and like the person that won, of course, they're like, it's like, you know,
they're their computer.
Yeah. Oh my God, I won. This is so great. You know? He's classic, though.
So, what did they expect? I mean, so that might be the Bonehead move of the week. The Grammy people picking a stand-up comedian,
white guy,
who, by the way, is known for offending.
Of course, that's all he does. He's made his living off of that.
Who makes that call?
It's so funny, though.
So there's always somebody. There's always somebody. So I'm assuming, just like Ricky Gervais or whatever from last year, hosting the was it the Oscars or whatever, where he pretty much told them that they were just a bunch of self-loving. Yeah. He told them, and of course he's not going to be invited back ever to host again.
This is where like Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon have just bowed down to the whole thing, so that they have just been able to ride their careers through it.
Because they don't want to offend.
I mean, Jimmy Kimmel was on The Man Show. Mm-hmm. Girls jumping on trampolines. And now all of a sudden he was able to somehow, just the blackface and the Key and Peele have gotten away with more than anything. They are on the other side of it, so they're not like as
right.
But
just like, well, of course. So they're not going to say anything to Kimmel, right? Because he toes the line, and now was the liberal line of California and Hollywood people. But I mean, he was friends with Weinstein too, but you don't hear him say that. For fuck's sake. That's
where are we going to go find these people? Like, what do you think is really going to happen when somebody gets when they get canceled? Mm-hmm. Is this like a short-term thing where you just kind of like wait it out and then everybody comes back, or how long is this cancel going to go on for?
Well, and how many apologies does equate to being uncanceled too?
Oh, that's the other thing. I saw the funniest, Scott Adams, the guy that writes Dilbert. Yeah. Did you see he wrote a general apology for everybody to just pop in your back pocket, talking about how you're going to spend all of your time working on how horrible you are as a person, and you'll continue to just degrade yourself and be miserable until the day that you die. You promise to do that? Like, where does it? Is this new? Is this like, it is somewhat new?
Oh, sure, yeah,
right.
Sure,
so it's somewhat new. Mm-hmm. At what point does it peak or stop or start to? When do we start going down the hill?
What's going to happen is the pendulum is here now, right? So now it's like you can't say anything, do anything without getting canceled. Right. What's going to happen is it's going to shift. That pendulum's going to swing the other way, and it's going to swing so far that people
swing.
Yeah, swing. It's going to swing so far and hard the other way that
you'll be able to say
anything, right? Anything goes.
On top again.
Anything goes, and it's going to be.
It's going to be fun.
What happens? Yeah, I want to live to see that.
Yeah, I'm going to be holding on to that boulder as it comes down.
My parents and I were talking about I was down there past weekend, and we were talking about my mom had maple syrup out on the table. And I said, you can't have that. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, you can't have that. Look at the label. And it was the Aunt Jemima. and she's like, what are you talking about? Like, she wasn't really tuned into all of it. And I told her, she goes, no way. I said, yeah. She goes, I guess I have to get Mrs. Butterworth. I said, nope. She goes, what do you mean? I said, well, that was out too. And she was like, what? Now she's pushing 80 years old. And she's like, what? I said, well, and my mom used to make cream of wheat a lot for us. And I said, the cream of wheat guy's gone.
Yeah.
She's like, what? I'm like, yeah. I said, even though it was a real chef, we talked about this in a previous episode, but real chef. The thing is, what's happening though, the pendulum's swinging so hard that one way right now, that you're not going to have any minorities on any advertising.
No. Yeah.
You won't have it on any. Their likeness can't be on any box. And the thing is, you look at the cream of wheat guy's family and Aunt Jemima's family and descendants. They're going to lose millions of dollars a year. Their estate is going to get no money.
I hope they don't start attacking fonts, because then we're in real trouble. Because we're going to all words. Yeah. So they're going to start saying that's a like a white supremacist font.
Well, let's think about the font names.
That was used in the South.
Helvetica, or Books Antiqua, or was it Times New Roman? Oh no, the Roman.
Ouch. That one's gone.
Well, let's think which one could. Arial, because that's that's Arial.
Yeah. Nipple font.
But think about that. The one font though that we've agreed upon, we've talked about it, that'll last forever, is the homeless font.
Yeah, that's right. It's funny, you can only write that font on cardboard. Like
the homeless font, for those that don't know what we're talking about, that you look at any person, panhandler, homeless person that's got a sign on cardboard, it's the same font.
It's the same font. The H is always really bold and capital.
I think there's a store.
Yeah.
The homeless store, you go get your things. They got a shopping cart that they stole from somewhere. Here's your package. You get a shopping cart.
But you don't have to leave at the door. Yeah. You just take it with you.
Your shopping cart, and they fill it with the cardboard pieces and some markers. Whatever, move on. That could trigger some people.
And then the sad face. The green light, they're like this. Red light, they're like walking slow until somebody makes a gesture and they're like, burst of energy.
I did see one. This is true. I did see one about a month or so ago that had on brand new Nike. I don't think they're Air Jordans, but they're nice Nikes. I was like, dude, dang, I'd like to.
You found them on the side of the road, like I usually see.
Yeah. All right, so word or phrase of the week.
Get through this show,
huh?
We're never going to get through this show.
Word or phrase of the week. Now, and this I came up with this idea because of what happened with one of the companies that decided that they're no longer going to use a certain word because it could be offensive to people.
Oh, God.
So it could be a phrase, it could be a word. And the thing is, I encourage our viewers, our audience, to use this as much as possible just to be the anti-politically correct, the anti-PC. But you had Unilever company that makes a lot of consumer products. They're like a Procter and Gamble except a competitor, right?
Why do they only have one lever though?
They should. Yeah. That's not inclusive, right?
It should be a multi-lever.
Yeah. But they decided that they are no longer going to use this word on any of their products or advertising. Now, mind you, they do soap and shampoo.
Clean.
And this word is normal. They're going to remove any reference to normal hair.
What is?
Yeah, they say that says dry hair,
right.
Normal hair, oily hair. They're not going to say normal because they're saying who are we to say what's normal hair? That's not fair to people that don't have normal hair. So, but don't people like pick it? They say, "Ooh, well, you know, my hair is kind of no, I don't have like too oily. It's not too dry, so I'm gonna get the normal." What are they gonna do now?
I can't remember last time I really thought of my hair as with an adjective, other than thinning and graying. And
But you know, people buy it based on shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So now you can't say normal. So now the thing I thought about that is, okay, what products do they make? All right, they make Dove soap
For normal skin.
Yep, for normal skin. They make Axe spray. Not like ask you a question, but
For normal
Axe,
smelling people.
Axe spray. They make Vaseline. And they also make Vagisil. Which tell me, if you're using Vagisil, what's normal? I'm sorry for those using Vagisil, but I mean, you're using it because something's not normal. Something's not normal. What are they going to say now?
I want to find an old package of that.
For oozing orifices.
Says where it might say normal on it.
But I mean, you're taking it like, or they can say instead of for normal that you're not taking it. So now, does the package going to say for oozing orifices?
Which is fine. Not that there's anything wrong with
it. If you have an oozing orifice, I'm not.
No, there's nothing against that at all. No, that's what it says on the package.
So you have to package.
Not that there's anything wrong with your vagina, but we're just making a slight suggestion that this may help. I mean, with some things that are perfectly normal. Just don't worry about it. Just apply, wash, rinse, and repeat.
For fuck's sake. Rinse and repeat. You know what I tell you to rinse and repeat, right?
To use more product.
To use more product.
I can't remember the last time I washed my hair twice. The only time I would ever wash my hair twice is if I forgot that I already washed my hair. Like, do you have like a cycle in the shower?
Sure, yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. I go shampoo, soap,
top down.
Shave.
Top down.
What are you, a car? You do that with a car because it's dirtier on the bottom.
Well, but you think it because it all trickles down and gets like stuff. I do top down. What do you do bottom up? You wash your feet first?
I don't know. I mean, now I gotta go into that.
Yeah.
I must have a rhythm because I don't usually forget like this arm. I think I start with this arm. Probably go to that arm.
Why you stop? You start up top. So wait, do you shampoo first?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you got those little
only so I won't forget.
Particles.
Just keep my hair.
You think you forgot? You have to rinse and repeat.
Go back up there. Then I gotta like
rinse and repeat.
Yeah. It's like, oh shoot! Now I got shampoo on my knees.
You're 50 some odd years old. You don't have a routine yet.
I probably do, but I'd have to go look at the tape and see what.
So I encourage you to use normal as many times as you can the next week. That's your assignment. Your word assignment for the week is normal. Use it as many times as you can. Now, Bonehead move of the week. Yeah, you may have one. It doesn't have to be listed here, but I have one that. So there's a local Montessori school here that this week, today I guess, today announced that, and this is, they got kindergarten through 8th grade, right? And they announced this week that they're not, well, I'll tee this up. I'll lead up. So local school canceled. They canceled something. What do you think they canceled?
Chocolate milk. No, wait, white milk.
Mother's Day. They decided that we can't have any reference to Mother's Day, nor have the kids do anything in art class that would be like a gift to the mother or anything like that, because they said
Valentine's Day. That's gotten me in trouble a number of times.
Well, because you've been told you don't have to get me in. Please don't get me in.
Get me in.
Yeah, for fuck's sake. I always used to say, well, I hear you didn't get me anything for Mother's Day. I'm like, you're not my mother.
Yeah.
You're my wife.
You may treat me like you're my mother, but you really are.
That never really stood well. Now I make sure the boys got or something for Mother's Day, but I mean, well, what the fuck am I like? Mother's Day? It's always funny too. Like when the kids were little, it was on Mother's Day. It was like, here, take the kids. I'm gonna go do something.
Right. Yeah.
And then Father's Day, it was like, hey, go do something with the kids.
Spend some time with the kids.
But this school said Mother's Day because not everyone has a mother. I said, wait a second. Wait a freaking second. Everybody has a mother. It's genetically,
Right.
It's anatomically and genetically impossible not to be born without a mother. So everybody has a mother.
Right.
Now, some may have passed on, some may be dead, some may be in jail or whatever, or left and don't know where they're. But for that 0.8%, they shut down mothers. And they're like, no, we can't, no kids, we're not doing anything. We're not even going to recognize it. They can't say Mother's Day. I mean, these are adults that are making these decisions.
Man, I'm so glad my kids are out of school. I would be,
For fuck's
I'd
sake.
be going nuts. Nuts. Can you imagine if you still had your kids in school? I can't believe these parents are not just blowing up. I mean, it's becoming obvious that they're not paying attention to their kids.
Wow.
This is making it out. They're like, you know what? Let's throw this out there. They're like, no, the parents are going to be an uproar over this, and they're like, no, trust me, trust me, they're not paying attention.
They don't even come to parent-teacher night.
I mean, I didn't pay attention to my kids in school.
Well, I think I did. Yeah, you did.
I know, but if this stuff had happened, it would have been like,
Oh, this stuff,
excuse me. They'd be surprised. They'd be
Well, at some point, too, you pull your kid out of that shit.
Right.
You pull them out and you say, look, I don't care. I'll pay for this or I'll homeschool them. I mean, I always wanted to homeschool them. I thought homeschooling would have been the way to go based on a lot of shit that went down.
Right.
But it takes two to tango on that. And people have their reasons for not doing it. It's fine. But yeah, so that's the Bonehead move of the week.
Let's go to a school committee meeting. Let's just go.
Well, they can't have them now because of COVID. But they probably have some virtual ones though. We'll just
Let's get on
raise
one
hell.
of those.
Yeah, I can do it because I'm a coach.
Right. Wait, why can't I do it?
Well, I'm sure you can't too because you pay
taxpayer.
taxes. Yeah, we'll do that.
That'd be fun. And we'll record it.
Yeah, that'll be the show.
That'll be the show. We'll record
us getting escorted out.
We'll record the show on the show.
Us getting escorted
we do that?
out. Sure. Yeah.
All right, let's look into that.
Yeah.
We'll never do it, but let's do it.
We can do that. We've done some amazing things.
Right.
This was Jake's idea. You said funny sports stories of the week and that, which I thought was a pretty good idea. But it doesn't have to be just sports stories. This first one, though, I guess in doing your research, right, you found some.
I found this picture and it led me to the sports story.
Yeah. By the way, Jake, I found the picture just to keep you out of trouble.
Okay, good.
Okay. But I'll explain the picture here in a second. But this one is unusual sports around the globe. These are some events that have really, and they're not just like, 5 people getting together saying, hey, let's do this.
Right.
They're like, these are annual.
Yeah, these are big deals.
Big deals.
I think the website was from the UK.
It was.
Which means that they basically will do anything to get together and drink.
Right.
Because these are some fun sports.
That's xenophobic.
I would love to bring that over here.
Well, a few of these, I pulled a few. I didn't pull them all out of that, but I pulled a few of them out, and no particular order of popularity. But this is bog snorkeling. Bogs, we don't call them bogs here. They're basically they're like almost like marshes, right? Swamps, basically. And in the UK, they have bog snorkeling. This picture is from bog snorkeling, and I'm thinking she won.
I'm thinking she, probably won.
I mean, I don't think she went under.
Obviously, the finish line.
I don't think she went under the water, but she won.
Right.
Yeah. So there's like, if you think of bogs, just think of it equated to a murky swamp here, or a drainage ditch.
Yeah.
Basically, right? Think about, obviously, here's probably the best place, but you know how behind like stores or retail places, they have to that water drainage place that just all the runoff goes into. It's just, that's what a bog is.
And they just race through it, like a Spartan race.
Ugh. I thought this was cool. The Bossa Ball.
Yeah, that looked fun.
Bossa Ball is where they play volleyball, but they're on trampolines.
Yeah. And
you can use any body part to get the ball over the net. I mean, any body part.
I thought her picture went with Bossa Ball.
I think it's in Spain, so I think it's Bossa Ball.
Bossa Ball. Yeah. No, that looked fun.
Mm-hmm. That was one of them, too. Let's see what else we got
here.
Chess boxing. This one was fascinating. Yes. Chess boxing. 11 rounds. And you rotate. You box for 3 minutes. You play chess for 3 minutes. You box for 3 minutes. You play chess for 3 minutes. And so if in the boxing round, if you knock somebody out, you win.
Right.
But if you don't knock them out, you go over to the chess table. If you checkmate somebody, you win.
Yeah.
So you get humiliated either physically or mentally or intellectually, I guess I should say. That was pretty cool. So they're funny. Knocking the piss out of each other for 3 minutes, and they go, okay, ding. Night left or whatever. I don't even know if I say it right. Shin kicking.
That was great. The picture they had for that on the website were like these two just like
British
guys kicking each other.
Yeah.
Wearing all white. Like knickers.
So how you get points is you kick somebody in the shin and they go down. And it goes, I think it goes until someone
goes down.
There's got to be, though. You can upgrade that to like nut kicking.
Yeah. It's like that slap thing that they have. You know, they do like the. I've seen that too, where they just
the Russians. Yeah, they say the Russians.
The other person has to stand there and they just open fist slap them.
What was my dad always used to say though? He said, "Man, he would always say something like." He's struggling with that like a one-legged guy in the ass-kicking contest. I used to, when I was little, I'd think, I'd visualize it. Oh, okay, yeah, because he's got a joke. What was the other one he used to say, too? And this one, like, this is so dated because he said, that's like a one-arm guy, a one-arm paper hanger.
Yeah.
I mean, hanging paper.
Who hangs paper with one arm?
Who hangs paper? It's like they used to, like, when they'd have to let it dry.
Paper?
No, just like papers they'd clip onto the, like, you print something out. Remember what they call those, the mimeograph machines before, like, Xerox copiers? And then it'd be wet and you'd have to hang it up so it would dry. But one-legged guy in an ass-kicking contest. Toe wrestling. Nasty.
Yeah, I think there's no good image of that.
No.
Like, you don't get, like, posterized on a toe.
Posterized on a toe. You don't do a bat flip with a toe wrestling.
You don't take pictures with that champion.
I wonder if that. I'm gonna have to look this up, but I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna go look tonight.
Who the champion is?
Or because of COVID, we're not gonna have toe wrestling. Oh, here's this one. Speaking of which, at the high school, they're planning on having wrestling. Like,
oh really?
Okay, wrestling. And I said to the guy, to the head athletic trainer today.
I'll work on the uniforms.
In the unitard?
Yeah.
So I said to him, I said, hey, Brent, are they going to do wrestling? He said, yeah, plan on doing wrestling. I said, are they going to make them wear a mask? He said, well, they're saying about that right now. And I said, hold on a second. You got two sweaty guys rolling around each other, but you're going to say, but you have to wear a mask?
I mean, it fits
for fuck's sake.
It fits the logic.
Come on. And it's like nobody in those, who's ever making these decisions, there's nobody there that goes,
excuse me, yeah, where's Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't get it? I don't get it.
That is a extreme, for fuck's sake.
That's what we need, more Tom Hanks.
This could be a true the wife carrying. This is in Finland. I mean, they throw the wife, and look, it's wife. I mean, and I guess it could be like if.
Did you not see that at the very end it said that they are now allowing same-sex couples
well, you know what I would do
participate?
Oh, that's a no-brainer. I would marry like a
jockey,
a Chinese guy, or a jockey.
What, to carry you? Your head would be banged.
But I would marry. I mean, I'd be the carrier. I'm assuming, but I would just to win because there's probably prizes, right?
I think you should marry someone your size.
No. If I'm in Finland,
more clothes.
No way. If I'm in Finland, I'm seriously.
You'd be like, "Well, where's my lump 360?" You'd be like, "Oh, I wore it yesterday." Like, what do you mean you wore it yesterday? Yesterday was the 14th. It doesn't give us enough time to wash it.
But there's got to be you probably get you win the wife care. You get at least an interview on TV, and people are like, yeah,
right.
I am for that event. Like right before that event, I'm marrying like a little.
Why does that have to be a guy? That was only a comment I made.
Well, but somebody like okay, well, somebody little.
It could be a what did you call it? A Chinese guy?
Yeah,
a Chinese girl.
Okay,
it's okay. You can start there. And if you don't make it there, then you can go to the transgender or like, all right, we can't win it as a where's your brother?
Yeah, speaking of which, that was today.
What?
Today, yeah. I read a story today that a judge here in North Carolina has upheld the new mandate or whatever where transgenders can play in any sport. Like, let's say, I'm going to put it here, and it's going to sound funny, but that basically says, even though you have a penis, for example, you can compete in girls' sports. What happened to Title IX? I mean, Title IX came out in the 70s. That was like, hey, whoa, you got to have at least equal amount of women's sports. And the thing is, the same people that have been all about, we got to make sure Title IX are the ones that are saying, yes, you can do this, that a guy can come in and play, but they're eating their own.
Yeah.
I mean, they're ruining they're ruining women's sports. Come on, man. I'm just going to let that unfold because it really doesn't affect me at all. I mean, like, whatever.
Let's let the pendulum swing.
Yeah,
you just wait till this just happens.
It's going to just,
like,
it's going to come back hard. Hard.
Or soft.
Oh, so this segment here about a true story people might not believe. Have you thought of one yet?
No.
Yeah.
Because everything I live is true, believable.
Well, I have like several.
Stories don't have any eyewitnesses.
No, some of these do. No. Some do.
Some of these do.
Well, this one didn't have an eye. Well, the eyewitnesses that were there were actually they're part of the story. But I think of the one I thought of today was remember. This is probably 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago, about this time. 4 years ago. It was the high school baseball season. And we had just played.
Were you wearing that shirt? Is that what made you think of it?
A little 316? No. We had just played a crosstown rival and lost in a tough way in the game.
10-9?
Something. Yeah.
You lost state 10-9?
Yeah. And And so we lost, tough loss. It was a Tuesday night. I remember distinctively. And after the game, after we got back, got players back to school, I was like, it was probably, I don't know, 7:30 or so. And I said, I'm going to get something to eat. So I went to a little restaurant. Said, I'm going to get a burger and a beer. And went and got a burger and had one beer. And here's the rare part. Rarely do I sit and just have one beer. Like, I was like to do even numbers, right? So it's either 2, 4, 6, or 8.
2 beers.
No, it's just the beer I do the even number. Yeah. So I had the burger and beer. It was Gatehouse Tavern, right? And so I'm leaving there probably about 8:45, 9 o'clock. It's Tuesday night. And so I turn out of the parking lot. As I turn right, I notice there's a bunch of police cars there at the intersection. The intersection of Rogers Road and Heritage Lakes. And I'm like, it was a DUI checkpoint. And I'm like, yeah. The car in front of me saw it and did a U-turn, and then they went after him, right? Yeah. And I was like, man, I ain't got nothing to worry about. I had one beer.
One burger.
Drove up to it, rolled down my truck window, and this Wake Forest police officer comes up to my window. And by the way, this guy, he had to be 5'5" tops, right? And my truck's lifted, so I'm like looking like way down on him. And so he's like, hey, sir, how you doing tonight? Can I see your license and registration? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. I already had it out, and here you go. He says, where you headed? I said, I'm headed home. He says, where you been? I said, well, I just went to the restaurant, went to Gatehouse Tavern, had a burger. And he goes, did you have any alcohol tonight? I says, as a matter of fact, I did. He goes, what'd you have? I said, well, I had a beer. He goes, how many beers did you have? I said, one. And it's like, usually people say, if they've had a couple.
Like Johnny Damon?
Yeah. A couple, right? As soon as you hear a couple, if you're a cop, that's like, that's like probable cause. Probable cause.
Yeah. Could you put your neck down here? I'd like to see how my knee fits on it.
Too soon? And so I said, yeah, honestly, officer, I had one beer. He goes, one beer, huh? I says, I swear to you. I said, you can blow me if you want. And I go, wait, no, I mean, you can put me on the breathalyzer. And he just looks down at my stuff, looks up at me, he hands my stuff back to me, he goes, have a good evening, sir. I told the cop he could blow me.
That's so funny. I thought you were going to tell the story about when you brought what's his name to the hospital.
Oh no, we'll save that for another show.
All right,
that's another show. Matter of fact, we'll have him here for that show. We'll have Boyden here for that show.
All right.
Yeah, well, I got that one. I got the Matt Orr one.
Right. I lead a pretty sheltered life.
No, you've got those too. There's like I got a.
You can't think of a story for me.
What do I need this story to you? It's your own story.
There's so many of them. You can't square a square.
So I think this square. I think, but these are good because that one. If I had told people, they're like, no way. But I imagine with that cop went back to like the precinct or whatever, and afterwards he probably told the story. He says, this motherfucker told me to blow. True story. All right. Hey, this takes us to the awkward ending, right? And the awkward ending is making of a meme, right? So I'm going to throw a picture up here,
okay?
Right? And you're going to describe it like you would, like, I don't know, a meme like when that, right? Now this is from, since you watched the Grammys last night, this is from the Grammys last night. Now let me lead up a little bit, all right? Cardi B and
circle back.
Cardi B and
wait, real quick before
Melon,
you get into this. Did you see? You watch The Five?
Every now and then.
Yeah. Greg Gutfeld. Mm-hmm. Did you see Friday?
No.
They came back from break and they were doing like the final segment is like one last thing or something like that. Well, he's in the box in the bottom center. And he's sitting there and he's just writing and he's like, I gotta pee. He's singing this song about how he's gotta pee. And the other four are like, Greg,
you're on air.
Greg, you're on air. And like just all of a sudden he was just like, okay. He thought he was off air, and he's sitting there singing this song about how he's got to pee. That was pretty funny.
He won't get canceled for that, though, right? Because all genders, all 168 genders pee. All right. So from last night's Grammy, now Cardi B and her cohort or featuring whatever sang a song on the Grammys, and the song is called WAP, WAP, which some people would say WAP. That's like a Italian slur, but it's WAP. You know what WAP stands for?
White ass punk.
Wet ass pussy. Wet ass pussy. And they say it in the song several times, and they also use the N-word several times in the song. So I didn't see it, but I imagine they had to like beep, 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 beep the entire song. But what they did was that they, their little skit with the song, they were acting like strippers, which apparently she's a former stripper. And then they had the pole out there, and they were dressed like with nothing on, basically. And they had this bed, like a bed with satin sheets, and
was Pepe Le Pew there?
All this, funny. Was this what I'm getting at?
Okay.
So we're allowed to show that on network TV. A song called "Wet Ass Pussy" about strippers and money and sex and N-word and everything else. But Pepe Le Pew's got to go.
Right.
Mr. Potato Head's got to go.
Dumbo.
Peter Dumbo's got to go. Peter Pan's on. What was the other? Song of the South gone.
Amazon is no longer selling, and I don't know who would still buy this, but When Harry Met Sally, because they made one comment in that movie about like how the LBG alphabet is not normal. There's like something about how it's psychologically wrong or something like that. So now
that's not okay.
Right.
But this is. So this is just a picture from it.
Yeah,
so if we were going to name a meme, so that's a bed they're on there, right? They're on this bed, and it's got like
is that a king size?
Money bill, and they're. I may screw this word up here, but I think I saw it in the comments that I was looking at. Apologize here. Tribbing.
Tribbing. That sounds fun.
It's apparently where two females do things to. What I call it was donut bumping.
Right.
Donut bumping. So they're doing this on broadcast TV. That's okay.
We could have had this at the Super Bowl. Instead, we got jock strap faces and.
So, what would you say is a good meme here? I would say, when you cancel cartoon characters, but you allow this on TV, I mean, it's like, this is okay. It's okay. Matter of fact, they got an award for this, so.
I mean, I can see why. I'm not going to argue the award. Is that the pendulum still going up, or is that
the pendulum's still going the crazy way?
Still
going the crazy way. Yeah. But and look, if Cardi B and whatever Lucy or I don't know who it is want to do this, it's fine, but not on public. I wouldn't think public airwaves is probably appropriate for that. But I'm just old-fashioned, right. I guess. Yeah. So I want people to do, our audience should take a look at that and say, oh, no, I think this will be a good meme. So when you name the meme, you come up with the words for it, send it to us, or post it on our YouTube page. But, so just get the hang of it. That's the first time we did that. But now let's talk about let's illustrate some more bonus awkward ones. And you found these, which are classic. And talk about masks, right?
Right.
The whole mask thing. And so if you can't read it, you should be able to read it. It says, do you have protection, she says. He reaches in his pocket. He doesn't pull out a condom. He pulls out a mask. Oh, okay. We're good. Here we go. What would have been better, I think, is if he put the mask on her. I would have. That's what I would have done there. Here's another one here. You got the condom sitting next to the mask. Condom's like, oh man, they don't want to put you on either. This one I thought was the funniest one though. Working your face mask like this.
It's like
wearing your underwear like this.
What would it be if it was a woman there? Would the mask be up over the mouth?
Yes, covering the eyes. That's funny.
Look, be like this.
That's one thing with this COVID. I have seen some really, really good memes and things like that as a result of it. So part of me wants the COVID to stick around a while just so we can get more material, right? Yeah. Speaking of this one too, I almost forgot. I've been closed on this, but I got to use. There's certain jokes that I have in my repertoire that I like to use.
Why haven't you used any of
that I like to use because there's a lot of times people who haven't heard them, right? So I'm playing golf. Never and I were playing golf last week, and they paired up another father-son with us. And they were the father was a couple years older than me, the son was a couple years older than Evan. But about the same age, skill level, everything else. So it was a good time. And I had on, in the cart, using Bluetooth, I had the golf tournament on, the Players' Championship. And the father of the other pair said, man, that's awesome. He said, man, we're out here playing golf, get to listen to golf. He said, I never knew you could do that. I said, yeah, I just took it up to my phone and just, run it through XM, and there you go. And as we're standing on the tee box waiting for the guys to clear, in front of us to clear the green, we could hear the thing that says, and the announcer goes, and Matthew Fitzpatrick sinks a 30-foot putt, and like that. And I just turned to the father and son. I go, hey, Matthew Fitzpatrick's gay. And they're like, no, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, he's gay. I said, interestingly enough, his domestic partner, you know what his domestic partner's name is? And they go, no, I have no idea. I said, well, it's Patrick Fitzmatthew. Matthew? And the son just goes, oh, yeah, and then the dad goes, son, explain it to him.
That's funny.
Matthew Fitzpatrick. That's like I made that up based on a joke I heard a long time ago, which was the two gay Irish roommates, Patrick Fitzgerald and Gerald Fitzpatrick. So
that's good. Keep them coming.
You're going to use that though. You're going to that's stupid, and then you're going to use it. You'll be like Dorsey and use it from me.
I gotta go.
You write it down real quick. Yeah. Where's my phone?
I'll never remember that one.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the first effort at the new.
Oh, I'm gonna be gone for 2 Mondays.
What?
You're gonna need to either get a guest host, or I get to go to Portland, Oregon, to do some live footage on the riots.
What? You're doing live footage? Why?
No, I'm just kidding.
But how come we don't know about that? I mean, we really don't. That's really not a top of the fold news story when it really is.
I know. Yeah. I can't wait to see it.
Are you going to be downtown?
No. A little bit outskirts. But
well, that reminds me, too, when they're talking about this.
Can I borrow that musket ball?
With what's his nuts, New York Governor Cuomo being soon to be canceled, I guess, with this sexual harassment stuff and everything else.
So quickly they turned on him.
Oh yeah, they eat their own.
The king.
They eat their own.
Yeah.
when they talk to the women, the accusers, I'm going to say whether they're truthful or not, I have no idea. But when they talk to them, they use the term, they say, I felt unsafe.
Yeah.
What's the difference between unsafe and danger?
Right.
I felt in danger? No, that's a little too harsh. I just felt unsafe. Like, he whispered in my ear, I felt unsafe. Now, if he stuck his tongue in my ear, is that danger? So where does it go from unsafe to danger?
I mean, listen, the girl just goes up to his room and needs her cell phone fixed. I mean, she wasn't anticipating.
Well, because the governor of New York knows how to fix cell phones. Oh, for fuck's sake! All right, well, hey, for fuck's sake, now that's a show.
Yay!
So tune us in next time whenever you're available. You might be able to do remote.
I could do remote. That would be interesting.
Might get Boyden in here. See if I can get him in here. Tell that story. But do your research.
I will.
Of course. All right, till next time.